Is my mic on? Is my mic on? Welcome back to Don't Think Too Hard with eToy. It's an experience podcast where we talk about mental health, politics, and everything underneath the sun. I had to take a breath because today has been one hell of a day. Um, So we have a special guest today. Her name is Queen Liberatti. But before we get into that, I have a few announcements to make, and also we got to open up with a prayer. I ask that all negative entities, demonic entities, all uncleansed entities, all attaching entities be removed. I ask for my sign guides and protectors and my ancestors to protect me and this podcast and the guest that is watching this podcast. Because we know when we are trying to do the work, when we are getting the message out, we are always going to be attacked. So I command and decree for all negative energy that does not belong to me to release. I release you. And may everyone that needs to hear the message and the word today for inspiration and courage and to join the community, let them log on and be a part of the conversation. I give thanks, I give thanks, I give thanks. I say, yo. Let's get right to it. So we're gonna do a little something different today. I'm gonna start with some disclaimers. The views and opinions expressed on this show by the host do not necessarily state or reflect those of the channel. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guests do not reflect those of the host and the channel. All information, content, and material of this podcast is for informational purposes only and are not intended to serve as a substitute for any consultation, diagnosis, and or medical treatment of a qualified physician and or healthcare provider. Likewise, all information, content, opinions, and material of this website podcast are for informational purposes only and are not intended to be treated as a legal advice, nor is any attorney-client relationship created herein. I just had to say that because things are just getting so these conversations are getting so deep and some conversations are political, and the reason why I had the political conversations is because they affect our mental health. What's going on in the government, affects us, how it trickled down to us, But, I am a healthcare provider, you know, I am a behavior therapist, but I still have to protect myself and I still have to protect my podcast. So I also want to say a little, give a little personal thing that I went through over the weekend. I was walking on my trail, in the hey to everybody that's logging in, Clemmy, Lady P, J Blux. So I got like a crazy tan. I had got sunburned. Then I went fishing. So I was in raw sun. So if my face look a little weird with like like different colors going on, please, bear with me. My face was peeling and everything. Like, so I had shades on. So this part was light, this part was dark. I was looking like, well, I am looking like, how you say, Scarecrow from the Oz. I'm talking about with Michael Jackson. Remember how he had that the peanut butter cup thing? Boop, right, right there. And the reason why it's like that because I had my shades on, so everything else was being had a suntan, and my eyes was like real light, looking like a raccoon. But I appreciate y'all. I really, really do. Thank you for all of the comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But you know how we do. Oh, let me show you the picture. Yeah, that was me. That was my first fish I caught. I was the second person on the boat to catch a fish. And let me tell you something, that was so, so, so therapeutic just to be in nature, just to be meditating, I really was feeling bad for the fish, but I was blessing the fish. I was asking God, whatever we supposed to take, let us take. We don't want to take too many. So I give thanks for that. Also, this Saturday is the 35th annual tribute to our ancestors. from the Middle Passage tribe. That's going to be in Coney Island. They do it every single year. I plan on being there with my children. I always wanted to go, but for some reason, something always happened. So if you want to do something for your ancestors, go out and, on Saturday. I believe it starts at 12 and it ends at sunset. It says it right there from 12 noon to sunset. It's really beautiful. Please wear all white. Maybe come with some flowers, some kind of offering to your ancestors, and get a cleansing. Dance, have fun. It's a beautiful, beautiful event. So without further ado, so we have Queen Liberatti. I met this sweet soul when I was curating showcases at Harlem Nights, and her voice. When I say her voice blows, her voice blows. Queen Liberati, I hope you're ready because I'm getting ready to bring you on, sister. Not only that, a few weeks ago, I got to meet with her again, and she sang. Her voice just blew the house down, and she spit some poetry. When I tell y'all, she had my jaw drop. I was like, wow. So, but before I bring her on, I just want to give a message before we bring on Queen Liberati. I was getting ready to journal. I have like at least 50 journal books that's just all over the place. That's how you could tell when your mind is all over the place because you got your different thoughts is in different places. But I had wanted to journal, write down some notes that I heard a speaker was saying last night, and my spirit told me to, go back and get this book, and I haven't touched this book in years. And so I was perusing through the book, and I was coming across different journals, and I came across one where it dated October 25th, 2017. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to read the first few lines. So and everybody knows that my father passed, and right after he passed, I had a nervous breakdown. For you that don't know, I call it the awakening now. Thanks to my sister Arabi, she the one that told me it's an awakening. Yes, it is. So he used to always say to me, "Watch your thoughts, watch your mind. Um, the thoughts, your mind is a devil's playground. Um, an idle mind is a devil's playground." And me and him used to always talk. Me and him could talk for hours and hours and hours. He would always have some profound words to say to me. So I spoke with my father yesterday about everything that has been going on. He told me what I think the universe has been telling me all along. Sometimes when you're ready to give up, God is getting ready to bless you. He also told me not to give up because in the darkest hour, dawn is in the morning. Ha! Did you hear that? In the darkest hour, dawn is in the morning. And I used to always say, no matter what this earth go through, so much pain is on this earth, so much killing, so much hurt. Like if you really sit back and you just think about everything that's happening, that's taking place on this planet alone, with humans, how the earth is being destroyed, with our cars, all the gas and the pollution is going in the air, the trees is dying, things of that nature. And but the sun still rises every morning. Every morning. No matter what the earth goes through. So I used to always say to myself, if the sun could still rise every morning, so can I. I can rise above. I can rise through the trials and tribulations because all it does is build my character. All it does is just sharpen my iron and it builds my characteristics. So when I read that, and this is in the dark night when I was reading this, mind you, when I mostly have my toughest battles with certain things that's going on that I don't want to say on live. And he said, in the darkest hour, dawn is in the morning. When I read that, first I had to say, thank you. Thank you so much, Dad, for coming through. Ebi James Leon Hairston III. Thank you so much. That lets me know that he's still with me. He's still sending me messages. But no matter what's going on, the sun's still gonna rise. And this is just a phase that we just have to go through. So I just wanted to, drop that message with y'all. No matter what you are going through, the sun still will rise. No matter what dark hour you are in, you have the strength to persevere through, because dawn is in the morning. The sun is still gonna rise. So why shouldn't you rise through it, kings and queens? I just had to get that was from my dad. That was from my dad, James L. Hairston Jr. All right, Queen. Are you ready, Queen? Queen Liberatti, where you at? I don't see your camera on. Cause I'm ready to bring you in. Let's go. Let's get your story going, Queen. You ready, Queen? All right. So, like I said before, this queen here is amazing. She's beautiful. Her energy is so dope. Um, she heard me speak about my podcast, and she heard me do my motivational speech. She heard my poetry. She heard everything, and then I heard her, and I just was like, we was captivated by each other. And then we spoke after the event and said, I have to have you on my podcast. And she said, I have to be on your podcast. She said, EJ, don't play with me. I want to be on your podcast. So without further ado, let's bring in this queen, Queen Liberati.
Uh, Hi, everybody. Hello, Itoy. Thank you
Stage.
so much for having me on your beautiful podcast. And you're looking amazing.
Thank you. So do you, Queen. So do you.
Thank
So I
you.
just want to get right into it because you have a lot to talk about. I want to keep it moving. I know this podcast is about surviving suicide, and
Definitely.
you survived that. You survived the suicidal ideations,
Yes, ma'am.
and you never know what a person is going through when you look at them. When
Never.
I heard your beautiful voice, when people was performing at that show, they was passing you the mic so that you could do backup for them, and you just was flowing. It wasn't rehearsed or anything
Oh,
like that.
man. To God be the
So
glory.
of course we have to, later on the show, you have to bless us with your voice, and also you have to spit some poetry. But I would have never known that you are a survivor of suicidal ideations. And I can remember
Yes,
when I was going through my bouts throughout my life, I had those. I used to write in my journal from a child. And I remember my aunt saw it, my dad saw it, and it was really, really tough. And I was speaking to my cousin one day, Clemmy. She's actually on here watching,
I
and
so.
me and her agreed that if you can't live with your mind, how can you live? So, Queen, please tell us your story. Who are you?
Definitely.
And tell us your story.
So, hi, everybody. Thank you so much again for having me on your amazing podcast. Bless up to everybody in the audience. My name is Shirley Tuzin. That's the name my mother gave me, but I go by Queen Liberati. There's a big reason for that. But I'm from upstate New York, but I'm a New Yorker. Can't nobody take my New York card from me. I've been here for like 30 years. But it starts back as far back as a child, childhood, from toddlerism to adolescence, whatever you want to call it, teenage. The story that is riveting to me and captivating is the 18-year-old. When I was 18 and I came home, because I never ever left the kids, and I left my kids one time because I just turned 18, or around that time where you graduated. So I went out to a party and stayed out. I never left the kids, and I had two kids. So I had two kids by the age of 16, 18. And I went out and out, partied all the way, didn't come home, didn't call nobody, people thinking I'm dead. So, the matriarchs said a few words to me that just, I was already dealing with my own stuff, mind you, I was already going through my own mental stuff, but that just sent me over the words that they said. But when I say what I say about what the matriarchs say, I always tell people, please do not judge my parent, do not judge my matriarchs, because they were scared I was dead. So they said whatever they had to say to free themselves up. So don't hold them words against them. I forgave them. You know what I mean? That's something that I had to endure. But I tried to hang myself. And as I was trying to unalive, because I don't know if I could say that on here, unalive a self exit, the Spirit of the Lord spoke to me. I can't tell nobody else who to worship or who to serve, so that's not what I'm doing. But at that moment, that's who I knew was talking to me when I was about to end it all. You know, I heard him say, do not do that because your life will get better. And he didn't mean better like nothing else was going to happen, like pain wasn't going to be forever. He just meant you're going to see why you're still here, you know. And over the years, after I tried to unalive and self exit, I've helped so many people not self exit. And I'm so grateful that I didn't, because just like he said, it would get better because I'm here to help other people not self exit. That matters to me. So it's significant to me. So if I could ever be a help to anyone, that's what I want my life to be about. Servitude, helping people to understand that they're worthy no matter what you go through. 18 was the defining
Ashe.
moment. Ashe, hallelujah.
Whew, that was a lot. Do you mind sharing what your matriarch said, or is
So,
that too much?
I don't mind because I've shared it before, but I just sometimes I don't share it because I don't want people judging them. But at the same time, these are my truths too. But she
This
had
is a no
said,
judgment zone.
yes. Thank you so much for that. And for anyone who's watching, I'm a Caribbean woman. So Caribbeans, we a tough loving folk, but she said something that was so harsh in a moment because she was so scared. She thought I was dead anyway. So she said, you should have just hopped in front of a train. So when she said that, it was like, oh my God, you know, that was it. That's all I needed to know. That's all I needed to hear. And then my rest in peace to my mom's mom. um I had tried to give her some shoes to go back to Haiti with, and she was like, I don't want nothing from you. You making my baby, you know what I'm saying, you making my baby cry, making my baby hurt, you know what I'm saying. So that's what I mean, like, it's pain. No matter what my mom said, I know it came from a place of she was scared and worried. She could have chose better words, she could have said something different, but in that moment she was scared her baby was dead anyway. She thought something was wrong with me anyway. So um my grandmother didn't want to take the shoes. So I felt beyond failure. I felt like not only did I fail, I didn't come home, but I felt these two beautiful people that I look up to, that I esteem. Like, those are the matriarchs. Like, oh my God, like, what kind of mother am I finna be? Who am I supposed to be if those two people? So I had said goodbye to my sister, and she just thought I was just saying goodbye. But I was like, bye bye. And at that moment when I was about to do it, I heard him, just like you and I are having this podcast now. Do not do this. It's gonna get better. And I was 18. I'm 47. I'll be 48 soon. So that's gonna be 30 years. It's gonna be 30 years ago. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So to God be the glory. And there's nothing that I've ever endured in my life. There's nothing that I've ever endured. Don't get me wrong. Suicidal ideations is something I fight with every single day. But it's a celebration every time I wake
Mhm.
up. Every time. Because I count my blessings. I take it. Every blessing matters to me. I don't care what's going on. I don't care what I've lost. Everything is a blessing. I count the losses. I count the disappointments. I count the rejections. I count the pain. I count the guilt. I count the shame because I'm alive to feel every bit of it. A live dog is better than a dead lion. No matter how
I
dope
know
a
that's
lion
right.
is, I'm a dog, but I'm still here. I'm still able to
I know
breathe,
that's
move, and
right.
have my being. So I'm grateful.
That sounds like that message that my father gave is it fits right in when you heard the spirit of
Yes,
the Lord say, "Don't do it. Don't, because you're gonna see why you are here. Don't
yes.
do it in your darkest hour. Dawn is in the
It's
morning."
yes.
Yo,
It's right
it's just
before the
so
dawn.
Exactly. So I
Talk your
just want to say
sour.
thank you to my father. Thank you to my father for that
Yes.
message. It goes
What a
right along
blessing.
with it. I'm just so thankful.
Yes.
You are here, to tell your story because
Thank
your
you.
energy is so powerful and and it's so healing. Not just here, like it. I want y'all to understand. You see how beautiful and radiate. Y'all know how I get with my words, my speech impediments.
Uh,
But I
me
no
too.
longer build a prison around perfection. I no longer build a prison around perfection.
I
That's
love
why I
that.
created this podcast.
I
You're gonna
love
see
that.
all my imperfections. I didn't say that disclaimer this time, but you are so radiant,
Oh
and
man,
in
thank you, Queen.
person, you even see it more. It just blossoms,
Thank
it
you so
illuminates.
much.
So I'm so grateful that you had that ear and that courage. Because that's another thing. We have to have courage when we on this journey. We have to
Yes,
have
ma'am.
courage when we doing the Lord's work. We have to
Yes.
have courage when we are taking on so much pain and still to be able to get up and just keep it moving, because a lot of people don't understand our journey. A lot of people don't understand us.
Come on.
So I just want to say kudos to you. Kudos to you.
Thank you. To God
So
be the glory.
what about, I remember no, you know how I always have an interview right before the podcast. You spoke about childhood trauma, and I want to know, do you want to get into this
You could get
with your
into it
childhood
because
trauma
somebody
and
needs
the
to
abuse?
hear it. You know what I mean? Yeah, we could get into it.
Okay.
The abuse was real too.
So
Like abuse.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, no, like these are all the things. Like and that's what I'm saying. Like you don't just start suicidal ideations for nothing. From the day we're conceived in our mother's belly, or the day we're conceived in the thought of God, I know that we're under attack because of the gifts and the purposes that we have inside of us. So since we were children, most of us empaths and most of us people that are doing these things, speaking about our truths and our traumas, have been pointed out, or what you call that, when we've been marked because we are
Yes.
here to do great things. So since I was a kid, I've been exposed to things that so many people have not. Like I said in some of my poems, I was exposed like a woman with no clothes since I was a child. I've seen things that grown up women have never seen. I've done things that grown up women have never done. As a child, I knew more sexual things than I do now. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm,
at the end of the
mm,
day,
mm,
I was stripped of my innocence as a young kid. So
mm,
a lot of things that I was doing was coping. And so suicidal ideations come to play when there's so many things that come to make you feel worthless, to make you feel like you're not worthy to be
mhm,
here. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? You want to self exit not because everything's going good. You want to self exit because you feel like you're not good enough. You'll never amount.
mhm,
What's wrong with me?
mhm,
Why did they mark me? Why did they choose me of all the little
mhm,
kids? Like, I wouldn't want this done to nobody's kids. You know what I
mhm,
mean? To have to go through being passed around like a blunt,
mm.
okay, passed around like a little 40. And this is not one occurrence. This is many different
Now,
occurrences and many different.
when you say passed around, because I know what you're talking about. I want
Mm-hmm.
the audience to know what you're talking about. What are you talking about when you say passed around?
Passed around like, okay, your turn. You have you do your thing with her too,
Mm,
since a child. So for me, I've always been more mature than the rest. I've always seen things different. That's why you never gonna catch me judging. I'm not judging nobody. If she skiing, let her ski. If she's stripping, let her
right,
strip. Whatever she doing, let her do, because you don't know what she's been through. She's working
right.
out her own soul salvation. She's working out her own path and her own
Ashe.
journey. You know what I mean? So for me, it's a matter of becoming every day. It's up to you. It's up to me. Like, I could be literally rolling on the floor vomiting yesterday, and I'm up here doing a whole podcast. Why? Because I'm fighting for my life daily. I don't put on airs. I'm not putting on a show to appease anybody, because when we live in these boxes that people have created and made for us, that's where the trauma doesn't live. Like, that's where it lives. That's where it doesn't leave us at.
Talk
Because we're
about it.
so busy trying to appease somebody, trying to be this for somebody else, be that for, be who you're supposed to be. And that means if you got to vomit today so you can get closer to becoming the best version, then you better vomit, because nobody knows what you're vomiting out. Nobody knows why you're drinking. Nobody knows why you're sexing. Nobody knows what you're doing but you and your creator. So being honest with myself, freeing myself from the pain and the shame and the guilt of all of it, and owning my shit. Oh, excuse me. I say I'm
Ooh,
sorry
no,
for
no,
cursing.
this is a no judgment zone. We are
Okay,
free. You get ahead, girl. We are
owning my
free here.
owning my stuff. You
Massa
feel
is not
me?
here. Hmm.
I
Be
own my
yourself.
stuff.
Do you
You
see this?
know.
They saying feeling this on a cellular level. Phew.
Oh,
Say
thank you
that.
guys. I
Facts.
appreciate you.
Queen is
You know.
preaching. No, be yourself. Talk how you talk.
Thank you guys. Literally, like, because that's what keeps us bound up. Like, we can't get the help we need because we're so ashamed. We're so afraid you're gonna judge or you're gonna judge. But if you know that you're going through something bigger than you, like the suicidal ideations doesn't happen overnight. Like I said, it's an everyday process. Every day I'm waking up fighting for my life. Some people wake up and it's like, oh my God, another beautiful day. Me, I'm like, got my Dukes on. I got to put my Vaseline on.
Right.
I got to pray extra
Right.
harder than the rest of
Right.
them.
Right.
Because
Right.
I walk through
A
fire. I don't know
queen with
what
her
other
sword. A queen with her shield and her sword. You better go ahead.
I got to do it differently. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking through fire out here because some of us, like Friday, I know he's one of the newest artists out here and he's one of my favorite artists right now. And he said he was pursuing his dream on an empty stomach. Some of us is out here pursuing dreams on empty
Hmm.
stomachs. Some of us ain't even eating, but we out here doing podcasts. Some of us ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like people see this
Hmm.
because God beautifies the meek with salvation and he makes you look like what you ain't
Hmm.
going through. You don't know what I'm going through if I'm telling you.
Hmm.
I don't look like half of the
Right.
stuff I'm going through. And I don't
Aha.
no longer put myself down like I used to. It used to take me like weeks to come out of a depression, weeks to come out of a funk if I fallen short or if I did this or I did that and I didn't meet my own criteria or the criterias that people put on us and the different things that people put on us. It would take me so long to come out of a funk because I was so in the past trying to fix
Hmm.
that in the future trying to see what I can do good out there when I'm not even there, not giving no credence to my
Hmm.
present. That's where
Hmm.
we go wrong at because we're not in our presence. We're
The
in
power
yesterday
of
or
now.
tomorrow. We got to be here.
You know what's funny? Because I made peace with my presence today. And as I made peace with my presence today, I was attacked from that moment after all day long. So, another brief synopsis: that same book that I
Mm,
picked up when I said I was fumbling through in the
yes.
beginning of this book. I was praying about it. Starts at 2020. No, not even 2020. 2016. It starts November 3rd, 2016, 2 days after my birthday. And I was talking about how I was unhappy with my life. I was tired of being a slave. I just wanted to be free. I said my whole entire life, and just like you, a victim of pedophilia. I was molested as a child, with dealing with that pain. I was, abused physically by my mother. We had, back in the day, it was called BCW.
Hmm.
Now it's called ACS. So I
Yes.
went from house to house, in a maternity shelter. I'm in the group home. Like you, I was in the mental asylum.
Yep.
you know.
I've
Um,
been everything you say, and it's like
you,
you
you
talking
feel me?
for me.
You feel me? You feel me? So it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, and plus all the other things that took place, within that time. I said I'm tired, and I also said that I wanted my own business that I can be able to thrive in, and I don't have to work so hard because I worked so hard my whole life. I felt as though I took the pain and I took all the abuse that I needed to take for me to get to live in peace.
Right. Right.
So the very 2 months, I didn't realize that sometimes when we are living in our blessing, this is when I came to peace with my present. Sometimes when we are living in our
Mm,
blessing, we can't realize it because we are too focused on the destination. So
mm,
I'm so focused on the destination, I'm not even living in my journey. And I said,
mm,
wait a minute. everything that I spoke about that I wanted in that journal that I said on November 3rd, I'm actually living that right now.
Come
Even though
on.
I'm not at my destination, I am on the
Come
journey.
on.
And who said I'm not at my destination? I'm growing towards my destination. And I said, oh my God, this is what it really feels like to have faith. This is what it really feels like to have courage. This is what it really feels like to take a chance on yourself and also to live in the present. And I just said, oh my God. And I had to say, thank you, Dad. Thank you to all my spirit guides. And, and thank you so much for me realizing that in the darkest hour,
Mm.
dawn is in the morning.
Hallelujah.
I just was like, oh my
Hallelujah.
God, sis, like sis, it's
Powerful.
just so powerful, so powerful. So when you say that, I totally agree with you. As far as the pedophilia, I want to ask you, how did you heal from that, and how did you heal from that? Um, my cousin's like, come on, cause cause um so I had I'm a second woman. I went through the Queen of Full Rites of Passage, and we had to it was really oh God, I just lost my train of thought. It was really dark night of the soul work. It was really some deep shadow work. I had to go in deep depths parts of myself that I did not like, and I had to sit with that, and I had to also accept that, and I also had to forgive myself and to also forgive others. And today was so powerful that I something happened with my son, and this week, and I was able to forgive myself fully and to forgive my mother, to forgive myself and to forgive my mother and to forgive everyone else around me. And I also ask God to forgive me for anyone that I have hurt, intentionally or unintentionally, and to forgive those that have hurt me intentionally or unintentionally because of me
Definitely.
carrying on that pain
Yes.
caused different things and diseases and portals and openings in my body. So it's like
Yes.
the more
Yes.
I healed that, the more I went deep into that, it was able to release. So
Mm.
I digressed a little bit. Getting back, uh I was confronted with my the when I the guy who I'm a victim of pedophilia from. It was my mother's ex-boyfriend. He had the nerve to contact me on Instagram
Excuse me.
after you used to hold your penis in one hand and your belt in the other hand and do all these things to me. Now you decide you want to contact me years later after I cursed his ass out and said what I had to say. 'Cause that was a releasing moment. That was a healing
Mm-hmm.
moment. And after I did that, I was breaking up stuff in my house. Nobody don't know this. A lot of times you go through your journey on your own. I threw my
Yes.
bookshelf on the floor, flipping everything all over the place, and just yelling and screaming in my house to release that anger. By him contacting me, I was able to confront him. And on that journey, you have to on that journey we was going through with her, you have to confront those that hurt you. Whether you write a letter, whether you talk to them or anything like that. That was my way to confront, and it took me a little bit more time to still let go, but at least I was able to confront. How did you manage?
Everything, I give God glory for every single thing about life for me. I know that's the only way I've managed through any of it, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. I've forgiven just like you have. Some I've spoken to, and some are dead. Some I don't know where they could be, but I've released them. I've forgiven them. I hold no angst. I hold no charge against them. I have nothing to do with any of them. I just pray for people and I release them because, there's this saying that says, unforgiveness is like drinking a poison and waiting for the person to die. So I'm not going to keep drinking poison. I'm not going to keep hating myself and waiting for something to happen to
Say that
somebody
again. I'm
else.
sorry, sis. Say that
Un-
again. Say it slow too.
Unforgiveness, unforgiveness is like drinking poison and waiting for that person to die. You drinking the
Ha.
poison, but waiting for them to die. So I forgive them not just for them, but I forgive them for me, and I forgive me for anything that I, just like you said, anything that I may have done or thought or have said to anyone unintentionally and intentionally. Because though I haven't done this to anybody, the thing about being molested and going through sexual abuse is that you have to also deal with the thoughts that are not yours. Those thoughts that have been deposited into you from your violators. So now you're wrestling with demons and you're thinking you could be a pedophile. Or when you went to go try, see, I'm going to keep it a whole buck. When I went to go try to do what was being done to me, God said, hell, stop me. Like, no, you don't do this. You get, whenever
Mm.
I would try to go reenact, because that's what happens when you're a child and they pump you with these things. Children are doing this because this is all they know and there was no one to tell them. But God has always been with me. God has always been with me to show me right and wrong.
Mm.
This is not right. So you can't do this to nobody. You can't go hurting nobody.
Mm.
You feel me? So it's something that we have to break. We have to break the cycle. We have to stand 10 toes down and decree and declare.
Mm.
And I'm like, people ask me, are you angry? My anger now, the anger that I felt, I take it and I put it in my writing. I take it and I put it in helping people. So I use that energy positively. So anytime, those thoughts come, you're going to see me penning. That's my favorite way to express myself. It's cry with my pen, express with my pen, be angry with my pen. I have every right, poetic license with my pen to say whatever I want, however I want, in hopes of healing other people by my transparency, you know.
Ashe, and I want to give thanks for your transparency. Someone needs to hear that. Um, I wanted to Lady P, she's in the building. She was on the show last week. Very powerful show. That was a very powerful episode. And she's dealing with forgiveness. And I understand because I've been there as well. But I want to say to you, sister. Oh, and sorry. Lady P, Pravi said to send me your email because she wants to send you something on forgiveness. Ah, look, Lady P, you still getting that because you are a part of the community. I told you, you are a
Aw,
part of the community. We have to heal together. Send me your
yes,
email so that you can get the whatever she wants to send you on forgiveness. And when you forgive, forgiving is not for them. Forgiving is for us.
amen.
It's not for them because they're walking
Yes,
around living their life, doing whatever they do. They don't even know that you're still hurting.
they don't
They don't even
care.
know that's. They don't even know this. It's like a hamster wheel running in your mind, just running over and over and over and over and over again.
Yep,
So you walking around with that pain. You walking around with that big knapsack on your back of hurt and pain and all those memories playing over and over and over. So forgiveness is for us. It's really not for them. So moving along, this has been a dope show. Okay.
aw.
Um well, we at 40 minutes. What I want to do is I want to get into some of your poetry. I want to keep this live and spunky. So we're gonna
Yes,
take, you
yes.
ready for that? So we're gonna
Yeah, no
take a
problem. We'll go
1 minute, a 60-minute break, and we're gonna be right back. So get
Okay.
ready. So you decide what you want to do first. If you want to sing first, or you want to drop some poetry
I'm gonna
first.
just put it's a song, it's a little song in there with them because my voice from last night, I don't even know. So I have a poem that has a song in the beginning and it'll be together at once.
Okay,
Oh,
no
one
problem. I
shebang,
got
one shebang.
you. Okay, one shebang. All right, we'll be back in 60 seconds. And we are back. We are back with Queen Liberatti. But this podcast is on fire. Fire. So if you missed it, please go back and watch it because you ready, Queen?
Yes, I am. I'm ready. So this
All right.
poem.
I'm it's just your show. I'm gonna mute myself and I'm going to let you go.
So okay, so to those that know me, y'all already heard this. I done did this a million times for y'all. This is my ode to love, and for y'all that have never heard me, this will be new to y'all. No excuses. Here we go. I'm falling. I'm falling for you. I'm falling for you, baby. I'm falling for you. I love you, Clark Kent. Sorry, my voice is gone. You don't need to go inside no booth because you're already my Superman. And I love you like only Lois can. We'll fight the kryptonite, baby. And when they try to keep you down, baby, I'll put you on my wings and we gon' fly high, baby. I love you, Clark Kent. Love, I love you. Emphatically enthralled with every fiber, every tendon, every sinew, every molecule of clay, every particle of dust compiled by the dirt of the ground to make you. Encapsulated behind skin and bones, love, I yearn you, the real you. Not just what my retina sees, but I see beyond your physical being. See, this yearning supersedes any need for me to be just another rolling in the hay or just another freaking between the sheets. You are my Boaz, the man of my dreams. I yearn for the day when reverie is reality and reality reverie, where everything's up in my face like nose hairs 3D live and living color vivid HD because in my imagination, nothing's in black and white. In my mind's eyes, I watch you play in my mental big screen. You are my movie. And as your audience, nothing in this world can move me. I'm your biggest fan behind the scenes, your number one groupie. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right, so sue me. This intergalactical supernatural movie journey called life, playing the supporting role as your best friend, your help meet your love and your wife, always by your side like that rib that used to reside, take it out of you so that I come alive. Alive in my full element, bone of your bone, flesh of your flesh. Presented to you as a softer version of you, the weaker vessel, made with delicate tissue so your head could be nestled right at my chest. Find comfort in them, ravish my breast so that your thoughts and your worries could be put to rest. It was never good for man to be alone. How soon do we forget the Garden of Eden where we first met? I being made in your image as you slept together, you and me. We were closer than a mother and her fetus. Is it safe to say that at one point that this rib was your fetus? You gave birth to me, not seed, but side section. Purpose by design. When you see us, you see God's reflection. This love that I have for you has been placed here without my requesting. It's my God-given birthright, not a suggestion. I will love you forever. I will pray for you before we ever meet. Our souls mate together. I will honor you before we even speak. So love, wherever in this world you may be, just know that I am on bended knees praying daily that when you wake from your sleep, the good thing presented to you will be me. Love, I love you. Queen Liberatti, and that's that piece. No apologies.
Woo! Woo! Girl! Didn't I tell y'all? Didn't I tell y'all she is her? Yo, I said the same thing. I know y'all like, damn.
Thank you guys.
Sis, please, can you do one more? One more, please. What's that one you did when we was at Feasta's event? Feasta, hey Feasta, she's online. What's that one
Hi,
you did with that Feasta's
Pizza.
event? When you talk about the lip.
Okay,
That
let me
one.
do that one is called Positive Reactions. Like I said, long night last night, unapologetically on my journey. So it is what it is. Thank you for having me on your podcast. We're gonna go right into positive reactions. God gave me your killer flow. A killer gift, a killer throat, some killer lips. Mwah. Voice box and pharynx to spit is dunamis, holy fire, ridiculous. Inside my mouth is where my fully loaded weapon is. My nickel plated silver chrome tongue ever lives. Trigger happy chick, push me so I can pull it. You ain't big and bad enough to bite the bullets to cool it before I flip my lid and fill your knots with metaphoric hotness. Hits the lead, shot in your head quick. Your dome is where your killer is, and I'm out to get it. Haters on my hit list, Satan's on my death wish. I don't trust nobody, everybody looks suspicious. Not even self is trusted. My hope in man is busted. I try to abstain, but I lusted. I try to refrain, but I touched it. Thank God for the armor Christ because I clutched it. The armor flesh will fail you every time under every condition, even after you've switched positions from hell's kitchen to heaven's kingdom. I've been commissioned. I'm on a mission. I'm goodwill hunting. I'm soul fishing. Anything in the way of my calling becomes a victim. I'm killing them. You could call me dangerous, malicious, darn right. Dangerous and vicious, darn right malicious. I don't care how you see me. In God's eyes, I'm delicious. Sweeter than hugs and kisses, Hershey's and Twixes, a jar of Kool-Aid, cherry and grape mixes. But don't get it twisted, because my bad-sided hisses, cracks and disses. Sneaky and vindictive. Try me and get tried, convict me and get convicted. I know you hate me because I did do the crime, but God acquitted because the blood hit it. Who did it? God did it, and that's before Christ, that is. And with Christ, I might fall short, so mind your business. Stop talking behind the back of the kid, because the truth and the point is only Christ died on the cross for this kid. So if you ain't got nothing positive running through your jibs in reference to this kid, down is negative and let this kid live. I'm telling you, I'm not asking. Be yourself. Remove the masking. Negative vibes I'm blasting with more action is Jackson. Matter of fact, I got a bullet of praise with your name on it that'll curb your enthusiasm. I come harder than orgasm when I'm rapping. I'm nasty on my mic. My flow so sick it needs an aspirin. You could call me the lyrical assassin. Clack, clack, blow your backs in. Got more bombs in my rhymes than Bin Laden did at Zach in Manhattan. Saying he's old, he's washed up, he's a has-been. I'm new on the block. I'm like an explosion waiting to happen. So you go ahead and keep your fingers snapping, your feet tapping, and your hands clapping, because I'm giving birth to life and positive reactions. Queen Liberatti, and that's that piece.
Woo! Yo, did not tell y'all? Did not tell y'all? Do you have it in you to do one more? Three
Sure,
times of luck, 3 times of charm.
sure.
It's on you, sis. It's your show right here.
Okay. I shoot a fair one with my mouth, son. Spit lyrical blows to your chest for fun. Tongue slay like gun. I don't play, so run. You want this fire? I got this holy heat, so come. I blaze with the best of them. Female, but flows like a masculine. Sound like a dude, but I look very feminine. Energy testosterone, but I'm filled with this estrogen. Dainty chick, but rough rider when I spit it. Flow so wavy, it curls up like Hasidic. I'm a Jewels, but I ain't Santana. I rep Christ, I wear the blood, don't need bandanas. I run with a squadron, even if it's only me you see walking. My angels protect me and keep me from being outlined and chalking. Born New Yorker, I ain't no average Joe. I've seen cats get shot up in the head before. Matter of fact, I've even stashed cracks up in my breast before. Ain't nothing I haven't seen before. I should be dead, buried underneath the belly of the beast. Soul put to rest 6 feet deep in the creek. But glory be to God that I've been blessed to breathe. That's why I spew out nothing but gratitude and glee. Happy with no Patron in me, even though I'm sipping on this Bacardi in Long Island. I guzzle Christ blood for free, easy like Sunday morning. Queen Liberati.
Mm. Whew. I tell you. And that's what happens when you turn your pain into a purpose.
Oh, thank you, Queen. Thank you so much. Hallelujah.
So, so. Um, I'm not sure if you caught last week. Well, if you caught Project 2025 episode, I had my brother Kev on there and also my mentor El Haj Saladin. Both of them are
Mhm.
veterans. Both of them are doing great work. El Haj is he's doing work with the United Nations,
Bless him.
and he's back and forth with Mecca. But Kevin is has an initiative with the White House right now about against gun violence. So
Mm.
he's having a show this evening. I mean, this evening. Oh my God, girl! June 22nd of
Okay.
this month.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's celebrities against gun violence. But he's also having in August poetry against gun violence.
Awesome.
And I'm hosting that one. He's supposed to have some for people from the White House come, some political officials from the White House come. I don't want to say the names that he said because
Mm-hmm.
if they don't come, the people look at you like, you dropped the
Right.
ball. But I would love for you to be on that show.
Oh my
I would love
goodness.
for you.
Okay, I can't say no.
Okay. So I am going to send him I'll send him the link to watch this. So I hope he watches it. I'm gonna tell him to go watch it, and I'm gonna tell him what time that you started spitting for you to be on, and so he could watch you, and he's gonna love you. Also, I forgot the name he said. He's supposed to be the Jay-Z to poetry. He told me the name,
Awesome.
but we was talking. It was in passing. Whatever like that. I'll get you all the information. Also, Lady P says that she wants to work with you. She said, "Let's work." So you got people
Oh
up
my
here that
God.
wants to work with you.
That's
So
beautiful. Thank you, Lady P.
yeah.
Thank you to everybody in the audience. I can't see nothing really, but thank you, everybody. God bless everybody. And keep me in your prayers.
So I definitely. So that's why I always try to end on a positive note. We talk about things that we have been through, and the reason why I like to be transparent because you never know who's watching, and you never know who needs to hear that. Because if they see you could come through it, they could come through it as well.
And getting
you
through
know.
it. Come through
So
it,
is
getting
there
through it.
any and getting through it and getting
Yes.
through it. So is there anything that you would like to say before we get out of here?
I have a couple of things I'd like to say. First and foremost, again, I can't not say thank you again. I appreciate you so much for this opportunity to be on
The
your
pleasure is all
platform.
mine.
Definitely. And to also, for anyone in the audience dealing with any of the things that I've said, any kind of suicidal ideations, you can find me on Instagram, Queen Liberatti, DM me. We could talk about it. I believe there's a number, like, I think it's 988 or 488 is the number for any, like, the crisis. I think it's 988. So anybody dealing with any ideations, you could call that number 24 hours, 7 days a week. Also, I have a book on Amazon, Give It 100, because my weight loss journey, that book has been out since 2016, but it's a beautiful hype man. It's a hype man for you. So definitely support if you can. No pressures, but it's out there on Amazon. Give It 100, my weight loss journey in 100 words, and to leave in the minds of anybody in my hearing, you are not what you've been through. You are not the go through. You are not the abuse. You are not worthless. You are beautiful. You are created awesomely and fearfully. I don't care how many times you fall. I don't care if it was yesterday. You have every right. I have every right to reinvent, redesign, restart the engine every single day. Nobody is the narrator but you. Nobody's the author and the finisher but the one that made you. Okay, so you narrate what he's writing now. Don't let nobody, not even you, get in the way of your journey, because it's a beautiful struggle. As long as you're breathing, a live dog is better than a dead lion. 7 times fall, 8 times rise. Exceptional. That's my sister's organization. I do it all.
I say. Thank you for saying about the suicidal hotline. I'm not sure which one you was talking about, but I had this ticker up here, this banner up here since my last
Mhm.
season. And I said, "Oh my God, I'm having another episode on suicide. I'm gonna have to use that," and I forgot it was there. So when you said that, I said, "Oh yeah, I forgot I have it." Click. Let me put it up.
Yay,
So
yay, yay,
thank you for
yay.
that. For being in tune,
Definitely.
sis. I want to say thank you
Definitely.
so much. You have brought the energy as usual. You are on fire. I can't wait to see you again. I can't wait to see you
You too.
perform again. You are so dope and so amazing. And thank you for not
Thank
listening
you.
to those ideations
Thank you.
because you are a healer. You are
Thank you.
amazing. You are a queen. You have the perfect name, Queen Liberati. I see your
Thank
crown.
you.
I see it. and I see you. So
I
I
love you.
appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. I love you more. The pleasure was on all mine for you coming on my podcast. I greatly appreciate you. This was out of the day that I had. You still there?
Yes.
I, Out of the day that I had, I see why. Because when something is great about to happen, the enemy always going to try to attack you.
Yeah.
And
Tried to
I was
take me
so
out last night.
exhausted. Yo, I was so exhausted from my day. I just said, I can't believe it. And when I spoke to you this morning, I'm like, "Are you okay? You like, yeah, and what did I say? We gonna move past that. We moving past that energy. We gonna get this work.
What?
We gonna
Woo!
live, and we gonna be all right. Because there's
Yes,
always
yes,
gonna
yes.
be some BS in a way to try to stop it. What I have
Yep.
noticed, sis, when you doing this kind of work, it's always going to be a distraction. Some way,
Always.
somehow. Some way, somehow. So
Yep.
I'm just so thankful that you pushed through and you just put all that energy today. I love you, sis. We
Thank
got to
you.
chat.
I love you too, Queen. We got to. Blessings to everybody.
Um, Blessings.
That's it. I'm trying not to, you carry me down or you want me to carry me down? Because I'll be doing this the whole time.
I'm gonna carry you dead. I'm gonna carry. Go ahead, get it out, get it out, get it out. Get your last ones out. Get your last one. You want to get some more?
No, God bless everybody. No, for real, because it was a fight to the finish. I'm here to diminish this flesh, better yet, conquer it, vanquish, subjugate my arch nemesis, killing its deeds, defeating its purposes. I'm taking no prisoners, huh? It's a coup d'etat for all you listeners. Back in the days, we was nothing but parishioners, toting the Bible but didn't have the word in us. Now we're loaded with verses in the mental edifice. Pictures still in my brain's remembrance, nothing but images of a bloody crucifix. Christ giving up the ghost for us. I'm on the front lines of my rhymes. I've been given the deadline to give the enemy a minor flat line. Leave them on the ground for dead. No
Mm.
survival. Come bag it up, this flesh dead on arrival. Me, myself, and I, my biggest rival. I'm here to live this life for Christ. My time is borrowed. No time to waste. Live the day, pray for tomorrow. Yesterday is gone, but my present got to be more than sorrow. So joy I go after like Pookie and New Jack. Woo! Love, I gotta have that.
Woo!
All right, I'm gonna
Yes,
go
yo,
now.
yes. Finish. Finish. You can finish. You
Wait,
could have
no,
finished that.
I'm
And,
trying to
and,
say,
we,
look,
and we know what? No, go ahead. You can
yeah, I'm
finish
trying.
that. And we going to
I
roll
start where
out on that.
we done.
You
So I
good?
gotta
All right.
have that.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we're going to roll out on that one, sis. Thank you so kindly. And we're going to end it with that. All right.
Yes,
Thank
Queen.
you, sis. Oh,
Okay.
wow. Somebody gave you some hearts.
Yeah.
Peace, sis.
That's me.
Peace. Oops, sorry. I didn't know she still was talking. Yes. Shout out to Queen Liberatti. Yes, she came and she set the stage on fire as she always do. And just like I said when I opened, always pray and always keep it moving, keep it forward. And thank you to my father for bringing this message, James L. Harrison Jr., because I dedicated this podcast to him and my uncle. This podcast is now named Don't Think Too Hard because he used to always say, don't think too hard, Tway, don't think too hard. And my father used to always say, watch your mind and watch your thoughts. An idle mind is a devil's playground. And that message that he came through last night, early in the middle of the night, she probably was going through while I was going through it. In the darkness, dawn is in the morning. And I'm going to add, if the universe, if this planet could go through everything that it go through, and it witnessed all the strife that it witnessed, the sun still rise in the morning, and we can't do nothing without the sun. If that sun just happened to say "fuck it," I'm tired, we all up shit's creek. So I want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone. The chat was on fire today. The show was on fire today. Please like, share, and subscribe. We got some more good content coming up. Next week, we got part 2 to Project 2025. Um, please log in for that. The week after that. We have some people from North Carolina coming in. It's gonna be dope. So I just want to say thank you, and always, you know how I have to end. Did you do something for yourself today? Because I'm gonna tell you something. Today was a day. Okay? Today was a day. I'm not sure. And today is the new moon, you know. But what I also realize about new moons is that because the full moon is supposed to be about ending. But what I also realize about new moon, sometimes you still have to end things and let things go so that you can be in your new energy and start fresh and start new. And also, your normal numerologist, that's 666. Today is 666, June 6, 24. That 2 and that 4, that's a 6. So that energy just was crazy today. So crazy. It was from the time I woke up to the time I stepped out my car to the time I came back and I sat down. I said, I have to be on this podcast in 30 minutes. And I just prayed and I said, please give me the strength to have the energy to come through. So I'm gonna go do something for myself today. Well, tonight. And I say to you, we live in this world. We have to do so much for everyone else. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Because we have families, some of us are parents, we go to work, or you run your business or things of that nature, or you just do things from the kindness of your heart. But more times than none, depending on who you are, we forget about ourselves. You know, I also want to say is there anything that you always wanted to do, but you couldn't do it because you say it's too late, I'm too old, I don't have enough money, things of that nature. So I ask you, what would your life look like if there were no distractions? What would your life look like? Who would you be? Who do you see yourself as? That person that you always dreamt of. Who do you see yourself as? If you didn't have obligations to everybody else, what would your life look like if you didn't have all the baggage that's everybody else's and not yours? What would your life look like if you didn't have no stop signs? If all your lights on a traffic street was green? Tell me. No, don't tell me. Tell yourself. Because it's not for me. And go do that, Lady P. It's not too late. It all starts with here. We have the power to change our DNA. We have the power to shift our environment, shift our energy. But it takes work. It's not going to happen overnight. You're going to have some bumps in the road. Excuse Oreo. Now he finally showed up. Hello, say everybody say hello to Oreo. You're going to have some bumps in the road. You're going to have some distractions. Case in point, i.e. So I challenge you tonight, what would your life look like if you had all green lights and no stop signs on your journey, on your path? What would your life look like? Who do you see yourself as if you didn't have the baggage that you had? And more times than none, it's everybody else's baggage. What would your life look like if every day you took one step? And I'm not talking about jumping. I'm not talking about leaping because one step every day will lead you to your step. What would your life look like? If every day you be the person that you always dreamt of being, to be the person that you was created to be? So I challenge you. So I want to say thank you again. Thank you for tuning in to Etoy. It's an experience podcast. Don't think too hard. My name is Empress Etoy. I started this podcast because of things that I went through in my life, and I had came across so much knowledge, and I still have yet to reveal that knowledge. When the Most High says is right, is when I'll do it. Um, but right now, I'm creating a safe space for people to come on, even whether you're on the show or whether you're in the audience, to be free and get this healing and be a part of the conversation and be a part of the community. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next week with part two for Project 2025 with my mentor, El Haj Saladin, and my brother, Kevin Meggett. Peace. All information, content, and material of this podcast is for informational purposes only and are not intended to serve as a substitute for consultation, diagnosis, and or medical treatment of a qualified physician or healthcare provider. Likewise, all information, content, opinions, and materials of this podcast are for informational purposes only and are not intended to be treated as a legal advice nor as any attorney-client relationship herein. The views and opinions expressed on this show by the host do not necessarily state or reflect those of the channel. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guests do not reflect those of the host and the channel. Contact Brother King Simon to get a reading. It's 30 minutes for $100. And let me tell you something. The brother is amazing. He will break your whole life down within 30 minutes. He can be reached at 347-496-1022 for the numeration consultation. He actually also has a show. He has a season, and they get ready to launch a second season on Forbidden Knowledge with Billy Carson. So tune in to 347-496-1022. And this weekend, this Saturday, the 35th annual tribute to our ancestors, provided by the People of the Sun Middle Pastures Collective. So if you want to do anything for your ancestors, this Saturday, if you want to get together as a community, I would say, because you could do something for your ancestors every day. But as a community, we will be in Coney Island on the boardwalk, and we just bring some flowers or bring something for your ancestors, just to give thanks to them because they open our doors, they have our medicine, they make sure we are safe, and they protect us, and we represent them. Again, stay safe and do something for you. Peace and love.